Hello, and welcome to the Earthathon. We made it. We are here. We're doing something new. Hello, my name is Kimberly Sales-Allers. I'm a journalist, author, and founder of the Irth app. Irth, which is like the word birth, but we dropped the B for bias, is a new Yelp-like review and rating platform for Black and Brown women and birthing people to find and leave reviews of their OBGYNs, birthing hospitals, and pediatricians up to baby's first year. Right? We know what's been going on in our country and others with the Black maternal mortality crisis, where Black women are 243% more likely to die during or after childbirth. And in New York City, where I live, the Black maternal mortality rate is 12 times that of white women. We need to start addressing racism and bias in maternity care, and the anti-bias trainings alone just aren't working. We need accountability. We need transparency, and we need to build community-centered mechanisms for holding these systems accountable for our care. So that's what Irth is all about. On the front end, we give you an opportunity to learn from and lean into your community. Download the app in the Google Play or Apple app stores. Search for reviews by hospital name or zip code. See what others like you are saying about a provider or hospital. And then on the back end, we turn those qualitative reviews into quantitative data where we can identify hospitals with patterns of poor reviews, target them for change, figure out what is going on in the experience of Black and Brown folks. And you know what's the most important part? Our strength is in numbers. Because you know what? Whenever something happens to us, they often dismiss it. They dismiss what happened to me and my birth experience. They will dismiss what happened to our sister Serena, one of the goats in our generation. But what if we put all of our experiences in one place, right? What if we now have the numbers, the mass, the collective power to show that we have thousands and thousands of reviews? This is not a one-off, and we are going to use that data to push for change and to demand accountability. My vision is for Irth is that we become that good housekeeping seal of approval for providers and hospitals, such that no Black or Brown person goes to a provider that is not Irth approved, and that every doctor desires or is required to be Irth approved, and that every hospital can earn this accreditation, a community-centered accreditation. By us, for us. So I'm excited to be on this journey with you. I'm grateful for your help and for your support. We are starting off our Earthathon today. Please call in to the numbers. Please dial 855-465-EARTH and share your review and let us know what we are standing by to answer your calls and to help you. It only works when we have numbers. It only works when we have strength, and I'm excited to be on this journey with you. Let's start with a little bit more about Irth and the mamas that we serve. My name is Kimberly Sales-Allers, and I created Irth because I wish I had it when I was giving birth. Black and Brown women and birthing people deserve a place where their stories have power for us to inform our community and push for systemic change.
My name is Kristen. I am a married parent of 2 boys.
My name is Dominique, and I'm the mother of 3 boys.
My name is Jade Harris. I'm from Detroit, Michigan. I live in Fairburn, Georgia, and I'm a mother of 4.
Hi, I'm Lois. I'm from Brooklyn, New York. I'm married and I'm a mother of 3 children.
Hi, my name is Sabrina. I'm 23 years old. I'm a single mother to this beautiful 14-month-old baby.
Irth is a Yelp-like review and rating app with a mission to end racism and bias in maternity care and to stop the Black maternal and infant mortality crisis in America by bringing transparency and accountability to the medical system.
We are Black women, but we all have different experiences. To be able to come together and talk about our different experiences, good or bad, it builds a community, and it really helps change outcomes, because when you have options, you can make better choices. When you have more knowledge, you can make better choices.
Black and Brown women are 3 to 4 times more likely to die during and after childbirth than white women. And our stories of neglect, mistreatment, and abuse at the hands of medical professionals are far too frequent. Our deaths are often preventable.
Birthing while Black in the United States was an interesting experience for me. Our experience was heavily impacted by our race and it shouldn't have been.
And I was incredibly aware that depending on where I went to receive care, it would make a difference between life and death for my child and I.
We were treated just as if we weren't there, and that we didn't matter, and that our questions were more of a bother than something that required a response.
The doctor, he was so dismissive, and I feel like I didn't have a choice in anything that happened there.
I think birth doesn't necessarily have to be a negative experience. It's unpredictable, but the one thing we shouldn't have to worry about is if how we look is going to change our outcomes.
We say no more. Together we can use our consumer power to protect and inform each other about where we are receiving good care and where we are not. Together, our experiences have power.
Before this app came about, the way that I would find out about, midwives or, hospitals in my area, literally Google.
Most of my information regarding birth was through word of mouth.
Prior to giving birth, I would normally get information from families or friends.
More so than Google, it was other moms, just asking them about their experiences and, what did you like about it? What did you not like about it?
We provide a safe digital space for birthing people of color to share their stories and experiences, to search for reviews and ratings from other people just like them, and to bring transparency and public accountability to our treatment in the medical system.
While we're waiting for policies and systemic issues to be eradicated and changed, we have to do something.
The fact that we have one of the most advanced healthcare systems in the world, but our Black, maternal mortality rate is what it is, it just doesn't add up.
The accountability piece is really important there. I don't think anyone wants to be on a review that says something negative about them as professionals.
Your community is with you. Irth provides reliable information all in one centralized place. We can empower women of color to find providers with good reviews and use our collective power to push for change.
I believe that Irth is great because it will be able to stop us from having so many silos of information going on.
Having a collection of stories in one place is helpful because we can go on, as moms, can go on there and search in our area, read real reviews from real moms, and see, if we have an option.
If you can go to an app and find out that, these women went here and this was their experience and they love Dr. So-and-so, or they love this nurse midwife, or they use this doula or whatever, that is huge.
Irth welcomes reviews from mamas, fathers, and partners, doulas, and hospital-based midwives. Our unique icons show you when a doula, who often attends multiple births at a hospital, has left a review.
So I'm sharing my story so that women can make empowered choices and have information.
It's really important for me to share my story because I want people to know that it is possible to have the birth that you want, and it is possible to have a healthy baby and to be treated with respect.
I am sharing my story with Irth because I deserve to be heard.
But to do that, we need to share our stories. We need to see people that look like us, and we need to see that it has been done.
Positive stories, negative stories, they need to be shared so that moms of color can make informed decisions and feel empowered about their role in their care in their process of birth.
Irth was built by women and people of color for people of color. Our unique by us, for us approach sets a new standard for developing community-centered platforms.
I'm so happy that this exists. When I saw this on one of my girlfriend's Instagram pages, I was like, oh my gosh, this is genius.
Once we have solid information all together on one app, we can begin to make change.
Having stories by us, for us, there's nothing like that. You can have a story from another woman and that's great, but the Black experience is different.
No story is too big or too small. Every little piece of information counts towards helping someone make informed decisions.
I want everyone to birth with Earth.
I want everyone to birth with Earth.
I want everyone to birth with Earth because you deserve to have an empowering, beautiful, blissful birthing experience.
Because knowledge is power.
Because we have options.
It helps women to know that they're not alone.
I want everyone to birth with Earth so that we can begin to change the narrative.
We have the opportunity to have healthy babies and have healthy pregnancies.
I want everyone to birth with Earth because there's power in our voices. There's power in our stories. And your safety, your well-being matters.
Let's get this done. We have power. We have consumer power. We have digital power. And we have our community, our brilliance, our togetherness. And always we have our ancestors. And we will conjure it all and leverage it all to bring justice and equity to Black mamas and babies. Download the Earth app today. Search for yourself, but leave a review for your community. Birth with your Earth community. Together, we can. Okay, so that's a little bit about Earth and what we're doing and why it's so important and why we encourage our community to birth with Earth. So we're here today. If you're watching, if you're pregnant or have given birth in the past 2 years, please call us at 855-450-IRTH. We are standing by and we would love to hear your review. Call us now. I'm so excited to be joined by some amazing people who we're going to be talking about this issue. They are very, very close to it. And so I'm really, really honored to have with us first Angela Aina, who's the co-founder and executive director of the Black Mamas Matter Alliance, where she works to convene Black maternal health professionals and community-based organizations to develop trainings, programs, quality improvement initiatives, research projects, all the things, all the magic that is Black Maternal Health Week. And she's here with us to help kick off the Earthathon. Welcome, Angela.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone, and thank you so much for having me, Kim. It's always a pleasure to be in community with you and also to just be in this movement with you. I'm honored, and I'm also excited for what you all have built with the Earth app. It's something that we need desperately. For our movement and for our Black moms and birthing people, to utilize a technology like this to say and to, in real time, type up stories about their experience, no matter what that experience is, because we need that resource so bad. So, I'm excited to be here. Yay, Earth!
Conversation. In addition to the major Angela, we also have Latham Thomas, who's the founder of Mama Glow and the Mama Glow Foundation. Latham really needs an introduction. She was named one of Oprah Winfrey's Super Soul 100, and she's the founder of Mama Glow, a global maternal health and education brand serving birthing people across the childbearing continuum. Latham, welcome. And then we also have Charles Johnson, who also needs no introduction. If you did not catch the powerful OWN fatherhood special on OWN TV, and if you weren't crying, then you need to check yourself. Charles turned his tragedy into a triumphant mission to bring justice to this issue. He is the founder of For Kira for Moms and spends his time really advocating for policy and for equity. And I love that his favorite hashtag is Love Always Wins. Charles, thank you for joining us.
Thank you. Let's go. Earthathon, let's go, people. How dope is this? This is just the most amazing, I don't want to date myself, but who remembers Lou Rawls, telethons meets everything, innovation and this is exciting. I'm so happy to be here. And I'm just honored to be rocking with y'all and my sheroes, Angela and Latham. And you know how much I adore you, Kimberly, and I'm just proud to be here, standing in solidarity with you. Let's make this happen. Let's go.
Let's go. It's so exciting because, the producer was like, I don't really know what a telethon is. I was like, am I old? But this idea of reimagining the telethon, for us to bring a space where we would be there for our community, right? And, we've all been impacted by this pandemic. We can't really be in person, but how can we make ourselves available to capture these experiences to help people use this very important digital tool that can help them on their journey. And so I'm excited that we're all here and ready to receive calls. Don't forget, call 855-450-IRTH. Everyone has an extension. I need to get my extension list. But when you call, and maybe we can put some up for folks or put them in the chat so we can have our extensions, so you can just call in and then dial an extension and get your review taken for the Earth app. Okay? So let's start with Latham. Tell us what's new, what's been going on with Mama Glow and the new foundation and Love Delivered.
Can you all hear me? Hey. First of all, Kimberly, thank you so much for the opportunity for all of us to convene. You know, it's like I always think about how it's either like weddings, baby showers, funerals, right, where we get to gather, and then it's conferences for many of us to be in space, and we haven't been able to be in community with each other since COVID. And so I just thank God for the opportunity for all of us to fellowship and to be, you know, in community together. And Angela, like flanking you with blessings and all of the work that you show up for and fortitude to keep going, because this is a journey that's going to extend past the lives that we live here on this earth, but it's certainly one that we need to leave a powerful mark with, and that is what you do every day as you show up with Black Mamas Matter Alliance. And Charles, you know, like we're community, so it's like you already know how it goes with us, and so thankful to be here with you too. You know, I think this is a really interesting time to gather in this way and to think about how we can utilize technology. You know, one of the basic needs now, when we talk about basic human needs, technology is one of those now. And so if you don't have access to technology, if you don't have the ability to use your voice through the platforms that are provided to us through technology, which really levels a playing field, then we are actually rendering people without tools for success. We're rendering people without the possibility to be able to change and envision for a future that's different. And so these tools that we're using, and I love the way that we're reimagining the idea, like you said, of a telethon, because we all remember being in the house when the plug was on the wall and the phone was like a coil, like an umbilical cord, and you had to be next to the phone. And if you wanted to get on the phone, you had to let it ring twice and then hang up. It was after 9 o'clock because you wasn't supposed to get phone calls after 9. And there wasn't no call waiting, right? So we have lived through a time where things have really evolved. And so I loved hearkening back to the past and back to our roots and how things would happen. But also I love the idea of coming back to how we used to gather. It was before telephones, it was like this, it was in person. And thankfully we have the ability to see each other right now. But we used to gather in living rooms and on telephones and in church basements and, you know, on the street corner, on a stoop, and we would tell our stories. And so what we're inviting today is for you all to tell your stories, to be a part of that ancestral tradition that we have of storytelling, of putting forth and speaking forth what it is that sits on our hearts, so that we can impact not only our own lives and make space for healing, but also to make space, like Kimberly said, for accountability, right? To know that what we say and what we do and how we act and how we push, you know, forward this agenda into the future, which centers Black life, which starts before birth, right? Because we are working against forces that are trying to tear us apart before we even are born. And so this storytelling is critical so that we can vision a future. It's critical so that we can help people make better choices, that they can feel like they're making choices that are informed by their peers, which is how we always did things, by the way, and really centering the importance of peer review, peer leadership, peer-to-peer support, because we learn from each other as much as we learn from our providers. And so part of what Earth is about, y'all, is the opportunity for us to learn, but also to teach each one. It is an opportunity for us to teach each other, to be in the nexus of our African ancestral technology, which is about connection and coming back to source energy, right? And so we implore you to use the app, to use your voice, to tell people about the app, to put your story into the ethernet or into the ether on the interwebs, whatever, so that you can make the impact that we can carry through to data. Because outside of this, the story that we need to tell to make impact is through data. And so the collection helps to shape a story. So your story shapes a larger story, and that larger story helps us make impact. And so imagine yourself being a part of an impactful story that carries forth beyond your birthing years, right? So this is about all of us reconnecting. My son is 17. He's, my stories are older, but I'm serving people and supporting doulas who are serving people, right? Who need to also tell their stories. If you are a birth worker and somebody who has witnessed violence, right? And when we talk about violence, it is not just physical abuse that we see. It is not just somebody, tone policing or having a rough attitude with you. We're talking about violence that chips away at us through microaggression. We're talking about dismissiveness in tone. We're talking about coercion. We're talking about bullying. We're talking about the types of stereotypes.
All these things are in the Earth app.
All of it. And you can speak to all of that in the Earth app, right? And all of those things that we're talking about, by the way, are acceptable forms of violence that pervade our medical system, right? These are acceptable forms of violence. And so part of what the app is supposed to also help us do is to chip away at a system that erodes at our trust in ourselves and our ability to self-advocate. So if we are able to also articulate that there is violence that is happening in systems and it's violence that's encoded, then we can also start to make a case for how we have to change how those systems function and how they recenter birthing bodies. So It's your story, it's the technology, it's us coming together, and it only works, right? Kimberly's done all the work to create the space. It only works if we populate it. So I just want to, ask everybody to show up in the ways that you can to do that. Keep spreading the word far and wide. This is a mother, a Black mama who done put this together for us. Okay, which is what we always do to show up for each other. So please, please, please support. I know I didn't answer your question about Mama Glow, but I needed to do that.
Well, first, let me hit people with the extensions because I do have them. We are at extension 709, 703, and 704 for this hour. So call 855-450-IRTH. Put in extension 703, 704, or 709. We're going to get that up on the screen. And I do want to say we did a little mini data run for Mother's Day. And because in the Earth app, we ask you what types of negative practice behaviors you experience. The number one negative experience now being ported in Earth app is requests for help were ignored or refused. Number two was someone yelled or scolded at me. And number three, pain levels were dismissed. 4, physical privacy violated. So these are things that we're seeing, and people like to act like it's a one-off. When we have numbers behind that we can show collectively, this is not a one-off. This is not a one-time for that provider or a one-time for this hospital. That's when we can really hold them accountable and push for change. And we're already seeing so many of the negative practice behaviors showing up, but also wanting to help people when they have a great experience, or even if just in between, to also share those too. And so that's really exciting. And it is a little concerning. I want to ask all of you, as we think about where we are in this movement, what's next, right? What's next? Charles, I know you're working on the policy front, the Kira Johnson Act. Tell us about that, where we are with the update and how we can support.
Sure. Thank you. So policy is important. But the thing that I said when I was in DC a couple of weeks ago is that you can't legislate compassion, right? But what we can do is we can use our collective voices for accountability and to demand transparency, right? And so that's why I'm so proud, I'm so excited of this project, and I'll circle back to that. But as far as policy, we are, for those of you who aren't familiar, in March, we introduced, and I say we, I mean all of us that care about mamas and Black mamas and babies, collectively introduced a monumental piece of legislation called the Momnibus Act, the Black Maternal Health Momnibus Act, specifically addressing the very complex needs of Black birthing people. And so this bill is comprised of was 12, now 13 different pieces of legislation addressing everything from the needs of our service women to the needs of incarcerated women who we cannot overlook, because still right now in our country in 2021, there are women that are having forced hysterectomies, that are having outrageous instances of obstetric violence and abuse. And so not on our watch, not on our watch. It's going to do a lot of work around social determinants of health to make sure that Black mothers receive everything that they need to not only survive but thrive before, during, and after childbirth. We're going to talk about tech to save moms. So we're going to provide funding and resources for technological solutions like Irth that are going, and they're going to be coming in to utilize technology to better serve our mothers in innovative ways, right? Because there's so many brilliant minds, right? There's so many brilliant minds like Kimberly that are doing phenomenal things that are innovative, and our mothers deserve the absolute best. And so we're going to make sure we get that. And then amongst these bills is the Kira Johnson Act that is named for my late wife, Kira, who, for those of you all who are not familiar, passed away due to just a ridiculous set of circumstances and neglect and bias because of the fact that she was a Black woman and because she was not seen and she was not prioritized, and she was not respected in the same manner that she would have been if she was a white mother. So within the Kira Johnson Act, with specificity, we're going to do things that I'm very proud of, like make sure that there are, we're going to provide funding to create what are called dignified care compliance offices that are going to be inside hospitals that are independent from hospitals. So another layer of accountability and transparency, in addition to the Irth app, there is going to be a place for people who are experiencing instances of bias to be able to report those, and the federal government is going to collect that data and publish it. And that's going to go a long way to hold providers accountable. But you can feel free to look into, you can visit our website for Cure for Moms. You can, and on that website, when you visit the website, what I want everybody to do, if you have not done it, take 30 seconds, sign the petition. All you got to do is enter your name and your zip code, and automatically the website is going to create a letter that's going to go to both of your United States senators as well as your local Congress person. And just because I'm aggressive, all of us are aggressive, and all of us are passionate about the work that we do. It's an aggressive letter is going to be created, not asking but demanding Congress to take action to support this act, and to support making our country a better, safer place for Black mothers and babies. So going back and talking about Irth with specificity, right? So my grandfather grew up in LaGrange, Georgia, little country town about an hour and a half outside of Atlanta, right? And he used to have this saying, and what he used to say all the time was, "It ain't no fun when the rabbits got the gun." Okay? It ain't no fun when the rabbits got the gun. And so what's happened is, for decades and for centuries, our community has been overlooked, marginalized, dismissed, right? And it's been okay, and it's been business as usual. But this tool, Irth, gives us such a powerful tool to raise our collective voices, back on the people that have been abusing us and neglecting us for generations. Did I lose y'all? It cut off on my end. Lose y'all for a second.
You were breaking up a little bit, Charles.
Oh, no.
There we go.
Y'all
Maybe a little bit better now. Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry. But so bottom line, this tool gives us such power, such collective power, to be able to not, because what's happening for years is because we haven't had a tool like this, these experiences have been in silos. But now to be able to come together and centralize these experiences, right? And not only that, the brilliance of what Kimberly has done is she's going to utilize the data to quantify it, right? Because we can then turn around and reflect this data and these statistics back and demand change, right? Because you can't dismiss these as isolated incidents. You can't dismiss these as hysterical mothers that didn't know what they're talking about. We are going to see patterns of obstetric violence. We are going to see patterns of neglect. We are going to see, because that's what society has deemed is that data is now the most valuable thing out there these days. It is more valuable than oil. It is more valuable than gold. But when we use this data to demand change and hold people accountable, we are going to see a dynamic shift that will be such a powerful thing to utilize in conjunction with the work that Angela is doing, the work that Latham is doing to protect mothers, the work that we're doing in policy reform. This crowdsourcing of feedback and accountability. Another thing is, let's bring it to the simplest terms. I know a lot of us have used Yelp, and I love that Kimberly is unapologetic about comparing this to Yelp. I've seen businesses go under, right? I've seen businesses go under because they keep getting bad Yelp reviews. And so in the same manner, we've seen, and at the same time, businesses thrive because when they see people that are doing excellent. So it's not just about holding the horrible providers accountable and shining a spotlight on. It's also it's about uplifting the people that are doing the good work, right? That are listening, that are hearing, that are being supportive and compassionate, and letting them be seen and allowing other people to understand where they can go to be safe and heard and respected. That to me is even more important than the accountability and weeding out the providers that are problematic. It is about the people on the front lines that are serving and leading with love, like our sister Dr. Joy always says, right? That are leading with love and being able to shine a spotlight on them. So I'm excited to be here. I'm so proud of what is taking place. And as long as there's breath in my body, I'm gonna be out here bragging on Kimberly for real.
I appreciate that, my brother, so much. And you're right. I always say I want to, for the good providers, I want to make you the Airbnb superhost of the Earth platform, right? Like, how do we celebrate those who are doing well? And then for those who need to be addressed, they need to be addressed. But we have power, particularly as Black and Brown folks. We have tremendous consumer power, and we can leverage that to amplify those who are treating us well, and to help redirect those who aren't. And, how do we embed Earth upstream into systems, right? We're talking about the power of reviews. Some economists are saying that they're becoming as powerful as regulation, and so how do we embed Earth upstream so that if you are getting poor Earth reviews, one, on a hospital level, this provider should not be getting a raise or promotion. On a city and state level, how do we connect that to funding, right, for that hospital and move it upstream? All of this about being accountable to us, right? Not to some social science metric. They're great, but you ultimately, if you are serving in our communities, you are accountable to us. And so this is really how we can build our own accountability mechanisms and demand that. So I'm excited about that. I know Black Mamas Matters excited about all the work they're doing. Angela, tell us how, what you're doing at BMMA fits in to this landscape.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, I just want to say thank you. It's still very much an honor to be here. And thank you for the brilliant words that you shared, Latham, especially about our storytelling and connecting it to our cultural practices. Because, for us at Black Mamas Matter Alliance, it's important that we center cultural congruency and understand that Blackness is not a monolith. It is very much diverse, but it's very much rooted in African centered practices. And so thank you for that. And Charles is always a blessing to just be in space with you. And I just thank you for all the work that you're doing, and for keeping up the good fight, because we need you. We need more voices like you. We need more fathers in this space to really be able to tell their stories as well. And I thank you for leading that charge, most especially with a lot of Black men who have experienced similar, unfortunately similar tragedies as your own. And so I just want to thank you for creating space for them. And I also want to lift that up as well. Kim, again, what you are creating here with the Irth app is spectacular, is again needed. And I want to take this conversation a step further to actually call upon all of our Black birth workers. Specifically, if you're a Black birth worker, whether you're a perinatal health support person, lactation consultant, a midwife, a doula, or a community-based service provider, and you're listening in right now, send the information for the Irth app to all your clients right now. Let them know right now that we are doing an Earthathon, and that your clients have the opportunity right now throughout today to share their stories by calling into the hotline. And Kim, I'm going to take a moment before I start talking about Beam in May to really promote the number. It's please call 855-450-4784. Yes, if you're somebody like me and you can't tell the difference between letters and numbers, I'm going to give you the number again. It's 855-450-4784. Please share that with your clients. And also, I encourage you as a service provider to call in as well. And as Latham brought up, we want to hear your stories too. What have you experienced? What have you seen? You know, and I'm specifically shouting out all the birth workers, the midwives, the doulas, all the folks that do these, provide the services, because at the Black Mamas Matter Alliance, that's what we focus on. We actually see ourselves as a workforce development organization that really sits at the intersection of public health, reproductive justice, birth justice, but centers Black women's leadership in across a full spectrum of maternal and reproductive health. And we were able to showcase that this year very prominently during our virtual Black Maternal Health Conference. And Kim, I thank you again for joining us throughout that conference. And then also our Black Maternal Health Week. We're so excited that this year, the Black Maternal Health Week, was even recognized coming out of the White House. Our vice president hosted a roundtable to really listen to the stories of not just everyday Black birthing people, but even from doulas themselves and the work that they do and what they experience. And then also, I will say this, at the Black Mamas Matter Alliance, we are also trying to push our government and policy decision makers and other decision makers to also center the work of midwives. We really do need to hear more about the great work that midwives are doing. And so that's why I encourage everyone who is watching right now, even if you've had a great experience, and in particular experience, utilizing midwifery care at the community-based level, we want to hear from you. This is like Kim said, like Charles said, like Latham said, we need this data to be able to equip us to make a lot of these systems change that we need to see. We need data that showcases that there are actually positive outcomes when folks like us, when Black birthing folks are supported by doulas, are supported by midwives that provide that culturally congruent care. We want to be able to showcase that in comparison, between, and really ask more pertinent questions to decision makers about why are you pouring millions of dollars into hospital systems that are not having good maternal and birth outcomes, and not pouring resources or investing in community-based programs and services that are actually producing the outcomes that we are seeking to find. And so that's why we need to hear from you all. And yes, I hope we get to hear some stories today. And again, I'm going to close this out again by promoting the number one more time. This is fun, Kim, by the way. This is like taking me back to the 90s when, those PBS specials.
Yes.
The number, yes. and then you get like a VHS package.
we gotta step up the giveaways, right? So first of all, put that number out there again. Please call 855-450-4784 or IRTH. If you can't see the numbers, you're right, Angela. I can't always see the letters either. 855-450-4784. And let's, please call in. We're here to capture your experiences, to walk you through it. We want to hear from you. We want to hold space for you. And we really, need to lean into this resource, right? So that we can use our collective power, so that we can push for change. I'm excited to share that we actually just started our first hospital pilot in Detroit. So now we are in the process of how do we use Earth data to show hospitals what Black and Brown folks are saying, and now developing strategies for change. Now we're going to set some targets. This thing that's being reported shouldn't keep being reported, right? But in some action steps, and then we continuously monitor, assess, track, repeat, right? This is not, racism and bias is not something that can be resolved in a 90-minute training. I'm sorry, we can't. We just can't, right? And they call it unconscious bias for a reason, right? For some people, it's under there. And so how do we actually really get the details, right? As the young people say, Earth brings the receipts. When they asked us what's happening, we're like, well, we have this many hundreds of people. Receipts. That's right. This many people. This many said their pain levels were dismissed. This many said their help was ignored. This many said they were yelled at. And in Earth, people do name names, right? And so how do we actually start to hold systems accountable, but also help hospitals learn who may be those bad apples, who may need some additional training, and who is it that we want to be celebrating. So this is really important. We want to lift up those who are doing well, but we need the receipts on both sides of it, on both sides. I love reading Earth reviews with people like, I want my community to know this provider is great, and I want everyone to go there. So it's really, really exciting. And, it's been a great tool, and we're really looking forward to it.
Kimberly,
Yeah.
Kimberly, can I say something about those receipts? And I think everybody kind of talked about it a little bit, but I just want to drill down on that, right? And I know we want to uplift the wonderful providers. I'm sorry, I got my hype man in the back. For those of you, I explained to
All right, let's listen to Latham. Take some first call. Did we lose it?
No.
Okay.
Accepting.
Oh, okay, there we go.
They're asking if I want to hear the phone number. Do I need to hear the phone number?
No.
I pressed 1.
Okay. This is live in the first time, people.
Oh Lord! So it kept saying press 1 to accept, and I would press 1 to accept, and they said, "Do you want to know the phone number?" And I said yes, and then they said 1, and then I pressed 1 again, but it wasn't advancing, so maybe they'll call back.
Yes, please.
Great. Call us back, whoever that was. Call us back. We're here,
please. And we hopefully Latham will get her a call back. Charles, I'm sorry, we got excited about our first caller.
No, please, no. That is exciting. So I was just gonna say, when we talk about those receipts,
let's see. Hold on. Let's try this again. Maybe you don't need to know what the number is.
Hi. How are you? It's nice to hear your voice. I'm here with Angela, Charles, and Kimberly, and we are here on screen with an audience, and I'm excited that you called in to talk to us. Would you like to do a live review? Okay, wonderful. Before we get started with that, I just want to explain to you how we'll do this process together. And I'd like to get your consent first, because you'll be sharing some information that's sensitive and questions that I'll be asking you about your birthing experience. And I just want to make sure you feel comfortable answering them. Some of those questions will be personal, and you also don't have to answer anything that you don't feel comfortable answering. How does that sound? Okay, so I'm going to write down the answers to your questions, and those answers will be downloaded into the Irth app database, and then within 3 to 5 business days or so, become part of the Irth's reviews. So we won't publicly link your name with your answers to any questions. So there's complete protection there. And also, we're part of a live Earthathon right now, which is being streamed. So parts of our conversation may be recorded, and a video of our conversation will be broadcast on the internet for anyone who's sort of seeing this live. Is that okay? Okay. Okay, wonderful. And so then if you want other information about Irth, including what Irth does to protect your privacy, you can just go to the to visit earthapp.com/privacy -policy. And that's where you'll get to learn more about how the data is protected. Does that sound good to you? Okay. So do I have consent to ask you questions about yourself and your birthing experience, to use your answers in the Irth app, and also to live stream our conversation? If yes, then I'm going to just type that in. Okay, let's do it. Let's get started. All right. Let me put yes. Okay. And we're off.
All right. Yay. All right. We'll let Latham do that muted while she's completing the review. If anyone else is out there, please call 855-450-4784. 855-450-4784. We really want to hear from you. We are standing by. We have other people backstage. So don't think that it's just us answering the calls. We have more folks who are willing and able. So many people have volunteered to be present for this day, to hear from you and to capture your stories. All right, so Latham seems like she's into it. I'm so excited about our first Earthathon review. I just want to have a little moment. Hold on, everybody. I'm feeling really good about myself right now. Thank you. But Charles, tell us, you were talking about accountability, I think. I didn't want to cut you off. I apologize.
It don't matter what I got to say. I'm just so happy that these people calling in and getting their voices heard, right? Like, people have heard me talk for years. I am just proud to be in this moment with all of y'all. But I just was simply going to say that.
And it does feel like a moment, right? It doesn't feel like a moment for you,
it's
Charles.
Like, this is monumental. I'm really proud. It's a moment, right?
Does it feel different?
It's a moment, right? And I like I feel like we're all a part of something that is so much bigger than all of us, right? And just to see, I was thinking about it. I was honest, I'm gonna be real with you, right? And I was getting a little bit emotional on my drive this morning, because I was thinking back to the first time we met at BMA conference, maybe 3 years ago now. And I remember being in a small breakout session and you telling us about your vision. And just to be here with you now, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I literally have chills as I'm thinking about so many different things. I'm thinking about this work and how it is simultaneously honoring our ancestors and then simultaneously protecting future generations. Like, where else could you possibly be more honored to be than in a place and space that are doing those two things at the same time? So that's what I'm saying. I just really just full And then just being even more candid, just thinking about what somebody that has been through a nightmare birth in my life, what a tool like this could have done for us. But more importantly, because I'm always clear that this work is not about us, but what it will do for other families, right? And so for me, like, come on, man, forget about it. It's cause for celebration. I think that for us, who we spend so much time in trauma, dealing with trauma, and whatever, whether it's our own trauma, whether it's supporting other people through their trauma, we have to take the moment to really bask in the good news and celebrate the victories, and that's what today is. So I'm just proud.
I'm proud too, and I feel like we've all been working in this space for a while. I'm sure at times it could feel thankless or like, will it matter? Angela, does it feel different to you? I mean, and BMMA has just grown so much, and I certainly, it has been a driving force around why we are even at this point in this conversation.
Yeah, I mean, definitely does feel, it feels hopeful. That's what it feels like. It feels hopeful. It feels like we are feeling more empowered and rooted in our own power to be the change that we're seeking, and that we're also finding ways to equip others to join us in this process, and to like take this work forward and to continue to save more lives. I am deeply touched by this conversation. The fact that the both of you all even got connected at our conference back in 2018. I'm gonna be honest with you, like just in the work that I do, and then along with others at the Alliance, like our vision is to continue to connect us that are doing this work and connect us to create more change, to create more initiatives around collaboration, but then also to leverage the resources that we do have within our communities, within ourselves, to understand that it takes the collective coming together, for this movement, for us to do the change that we need to address and to really end maternal mortality. Because we know that in 2021, we should not still be fighting these battles. We should not still be scared, for our lives to give birth, which is so natural to us as human beings. And then the fact that we still have to, navigate a system because of structural racism and obstetric violence. Like it is absurd. It is absolutely absurd. And so, but with that being said, I am so delighted, so grateful, and in the space of hopefulness with this technology of Irth and what you have done, Kim, that, again, I'm just wanting to see all the greatness that's going to come out of this. And still, I'm going to call on all the folks that are listening right now. Please call this number. Send it out to people. It's real easy. If you are sitting next to your cell phone, which most of you all are, just send a text message. Send a text message out to your WhatsApp groups, to your GroupMe groups. And you all know all your homegirl stories or stories from your aunts and other folks that have had all kind of experiences when it came to their pregnancy and childbirth experiences, and trying to navigate that with going to hospitals and different places. Call the number, which is 855-450-4784. Send that out to folks. Irth app is going to be here all throughout today, collecting stories and moving forward. And I just want to say again, congratulations, Kim. Thank you for this. Again, this is something that we've been needing. And I'm hopeful that while this is just the beginning, it's going to really, really magnify and even be a much bigger platform beyond what you've even dreamed of. So thank you. Thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you, my sister. I so appreciate that. I'm so grateful for your support personally, the support of BMMA for Earth, and really just all you do to encourage not just yourself as a workforce development group, but the way that you've encouraged Black Mama creativity, the way that we've supported podcasts and all to do all the things. And I'm honored to have your support and to have you here today. I'm so excited about us being here. Yes, you need to call right now. And if you're not going to call, download the Earth app and leave your review. It's available in the Google Play and Apple app stores. We accept prenatal reviews. So if you're still pregnant, tell us what's going on with those doctor's appointments. Come back, leave multiple reviews. If you have a baby in the past 2 years, tell us about what happened to your birthing experience. Plus, you can also leave a review about your postpartum visit, as well as the pediatric visits for your baby up to baby's first year. So we know that we need to start capturing these across the spectrum. We know that this will be really informative. So how we find the gaps, how we find those patterns and trends, and then we go and push for change. So please continue to download the app. Call in right now. We are waiting. I'm so excited about today. Speaking of Charles, guess what, Charles? Later today, Bruce McIntyre is going to be here from Savor Rose Foundation. Also, the brother Aaron Nealons, his wife Janaya passed away in December 2020. He'll be here a little bit later. So really want to lift up the stories of the fathers, because we know that the impact on them of the Black maternal mortality crisis is also very severe, right? So your brothers are coming.
Look, first of all, thank you. Thank you for saying that. Thank you for just bringing them on to share their perspective. And I am just, as I'm inspired by all of you all, I am inspired daily by all of them. And I talk all the time about, actually, as we were on, I actually got a text from Armand Kadeem, who is another brother in Atlanta, and his wife passed away in 2020, and she was a doula. And so, my heart is full, and I think a lot. I talk to these brothers, if not individually or collectively, almost daily. And I'm so tired of this fraternity expanding. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of having to add somebody else to this group chat. As grateful as I am for them, Kimberly, I'm tired of it. I will continue to support brothers who lose their spouses. Every time I meet one, and I will bring them, and I will do everything I can to support them, but I'm tired of it. So we've got to get this right. We've got to get this right, because these mothers are precious. They're precious, and these brothers, Bruce is a phenomenal brother. He's a warrior. And I'm so grateful for him and the way he shows up. I'm so grateful for all of these brothers and them finding their voices and their willingness to fight. But I don't want them to have to. I don't want them to have to. And
Charles,
so
I say that I feel you. I got the goosebumps. And I just want you to know that we are always lifting you up, brother. We are always lifting up all the brothers, the babies who were left behind without their mother. None of it is okay. None of it. And, I hope you know that we are always here trying to hold you up, lifting you up. And I'm so sad the group text is expanding,
Yeah, and I talk about, oftentimes, man, one of the toughest questions, Kimberly, that I've ever been asked, right? So I was in Texas, about an hour outside of Dallas, and I was I was speaking to a group of, I think I was speaking to their state program, and I got to the Q&A portion. I presented, and I gave my keynote, and this woman said, she asked a question I'd never been asked before, and it's haunting. And what she asked me was, she said, do you hope that your boys will take on this work when they're adults? And it just knocked the wind out of my stomach. It knocked the wind out of my stomach. And to think that this would still be a problem when my sons are prepared to be fathers. But as difficult as it was to hear that, it re-energized me in a different way to understand that I refuse for this to still be an issue, right? When our sons and our daughters are ready to go into the next phase of their life as parents, I refuse. And the good news is, and that's why this is a celebratory moment, because we can fix this. That's what being the man it stands for, and that's what they scream at the top of their lungs, is we have the tools, we have the resources to fix this. Right? It is just up to us collectively as a society to determine that we are making as mothers and these families a priority. We know how to, the science is there, the resources are there to fix this. And that's the thing we have to approach, is that even though these stories are hurtful and they're tough and there's a lot of trauma, the good news is, the thing that we have to center ourselves in is the fact that we can fix this, right? And this Earth movement, not even tool, not even app, because this is a movement, is going to do just that. It's going to help us fix this. So, yeah.
Well, I appreciate that. It's going to take all the things. It didn't take one thing to get us here, and it's going to take all the things. So it's going to take digital. It's going to take policy. It's going to take the workforce. It's going to take the doula. It's going to take this whole rethinking of midwifery care. It's going to think about, why don't we have more out-of-hospital options, like all the things. And that's what I always try to tell people. Like, Earth is a tool, not the tool. And it really is going to take, it's an all hands on deck moment where we have to try everything. Because as much as there's been great effort, we have to acknowledge that it hasn't worked. And so we need to try something new, think about innovative models, think about technology. What are we doing on our phone? Like, all the things for us to address that, because we know that it's going to take all the things. We are kind of coming up to you, Tom, that you all are kind of moving on, and my next group is coming. I just want to remind everybody to please call in 800. I'm losing my voice already. We just started. Good Lord. Angela, help me out with the number so I can sip some water, please.
Yes. Please call 855-450-IRTH or 855-450-4784. Please call. Please send it out to your networks. Again, we're trying to collect stories. We're trying to collect the necessary data that we need to really drive the change that we're trying to see. Because exactly what Charles just said, we're not trying to add more Black men to the WhatsApp chat and around losing their loved ones to maternal mortality. We're trying to prevent it. And please be a part of the movement. Yes, be a part of this movement. Let people know that it is as simple as downloading the Earth app on the Apple Store and Google Play. And again, call 855-450-IRTH, 855-450-4784. Kim, you are doing godly work. This is timely. Thank you so much for using technology, for being brave, for being in this space that doesn't have a lot of us that look like us in this technology space.
Okay, we'll
Thank you.
talk about that soon. Thank you. Thank you. Tell us how we can stay up to date with Black Mamas Matter Alliance, please.
Yes, please go to our website at blackmamasmatter.org. That's BLACKMAMASMATTER.org/connect. Sign up for our newsletter. We always send out all kind of information through our newsletters. That's how you can get connected. And follow us on all of our social media platforms on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Thank you so much. And Latham, congratulations for having somebody call in. That looks so exciting.
Oh, I can't hear you guys. It cut out. I couldn't hear you.
Angela?
I couldn't.
No, I was saying congratulations on helping us get someone to fill out the Earth app review. Thank you.
Well, we just completed it. It was very thorough, Kimberly. The questions were really, really thoughtful. I thought that the form was really inclusive. So folks who are showing up in whatever your lived experience is, whatever body you're showing up in, whatever intersections show up for you in your experience, know that this is a space where you'll find yourself safe in your storytelling, but also in representing who you are. So I'm appreciative of the thoughtfulness for that. And the line of questioning, it was, I think for the person experiencing, it was soft enough to kind of bring to the surface the things that we need to get from them, but also not not too intense. And so I think there's a balance to strike, especially with things like this, right? So everyone, it's a really great exercise, especially if you've not been able to tell your birth story or tell a story of a birth you attended or something that you witnessed, right? It's a great processing tool, right, for your own mental and emotional health, because it's so important for us after we attend or witness, bear witness to anyone on the life continuum, wherever that juncture lies. And it could be birth, it could be postpartum, it could be abortion and loss. Like there's so many areas where we need to be witness and support. And those interactions that we have around those times are really important to process. And this is such an incredible tool, like Kim said, because, a lot of us didn't have these spaces. And now with the technology, even though we're more connected, we're also very separate. And so this is a way for us to, if we don't have the mechanism of licensed mental health providers, or if we don't have spiritual leaders or folks within our birth village to really lean on, this is one of those tools that you can use to help process and bring to the surface some of the story and help contain your memory of what that was, right? So I appreciate it for that as well, because a lot of people need that and don't have a pathway to figure out how to, hold it. So thank you, Kimberly, for that.
And when you do that, it's immediately helpful to someone else, right? So yes, it's cathartic for you, and but it's also of benefit to your community. So it's, I think of it more as a win-win as well, right? So you're sharing yourself, but you are now sharing an experience that can help inform your sister, your brother, anyone in our community who needs to learn about that experience, good, bad, or indifferent. So thank you for that. I want to respect everyone's time for donating an hour to the Earth app. Latham, before you go, please give us an update on Love Delivered. And then Angela, if you need to go, I completely understand. We have our way to stay in touch. I know we have our next group kind of lining up. So, but I love to hear from Latham, just what's going on with her latest project. And then Charles, just how can we stay in touch with you?
Absolutely. Thank you so much for that, Kim. And I loved being able to jump right back in as Angela was updating us. So we launched the Mama Glow Foundation in around February, March timeframe, but really made an announcement of one of our first partnerships, which is with Carol's daughter. And it's the work is called Love Delivered, and it's a program to really enlist advocates as well as support families that are birthing, and also support birth workers. So the birth workers who are involved serve the families who are in need. So if you're a Black or Brown family that's seeking doula support, you can have that support through the Love Delivered grant. And so we're really excited about that, as well as the tools. We have like some resource tools and guides and stuff that people can also download. And in addition to that, we have another project that's launching with formerly incarcerated folk who will be going into to do doula work with Ladies of Hope Ministries, which will be coming really soon. So that's also on the foundation side. So there's a lot of stuff happening around that, but I want to also relift what we brought into the conversation, which is the importance of recentering our ancestral traditions around birth, which midwifery is at the pinnacle. And so we really need to, really bring into the forefronts of all of our conversations, modeling of what birth should look like and can look like, and what liberation needs to be for body sovereignty for our people. And so we need more Black midwives, period. We have like 14,000 midwives, 6% are people of color and 2% are Black. At the inception of this nation, everybody who birthed the babies were Black or Indigenous. So we need to get back to that. That is at the crux of who we are. And so we really need to support that. And one of the granting opportunities through the foundation is midwifery support, peer education through community education around reproductive justice and birth equity, and then midwifery and doula scholarship programs to help advance that, because we need to see more of us doing those, more Black and LGBTQ plus folks who are taking that pathway to support our communities.
I love it. I love it. I mean, it's so exciting. Thank you for the great work that you continue to do. Thank you for keeping us grounded and rooted. Basin always gives me.
Thank you, Kim.
I have to give.
By the way, y'all don't know this, Kim. Like when we have our live doula trainings, Kim comes in. She brings an energy. She gives a great lecture. We've been online for 15 months and stuff. But when we can get back together and convene again, I look forward to hugging you and having the doulas fawn over you. And if anybody wants to take doula training, our next level 1 is in September. It's going to be digital. And digital has been amazing. So just come join us, and also join the work that Charles is doing. Continue to support Black Mamas Matter Alliance and lifting them in their work too. Like everybody is here, doing work. You don't have to go start an organization. You could just come in and roll up your sleeves and help all of us here to continue to advance the work.
I love it. I love it. Thank you so much. Any parting words, Charles? Where can we keep up with you at? We know we need to go to the website and sign that petition and get our demand letters sent immediately. What else can we do?
So thank you, Kimberly. The number 4 KIRA, the number 4 MOMS, 4 Cure 4 Moms, all social media. I think in addition to downloading the app and getting involved, sharing it, and also doing a cool thing too is once you download the app, I would challenge everybody to then share it from your phone to 5 people, right? It's an easy thing you can download and then share it from the App Store. You can zing, 5
Great.
people, send it out. Let's get this on as many phones as we possibly can. And one of the other things I would say is just share these stories. Share your story. There's power in your story, in your experience. Never allow anybody to ever make you believe that your story and your experience does not count. And as soon as I get off, I got a review. It's going up. And I also want to say too, is it cool just for people who are watching? And I think that Angela and you may have said this completely too, but also I wanted to stress the fact that for people that are fathers or support people to also share their experience as well. It does not necessarily just have to be the mother. I want to drive that point home, right? For
yes,
people that
thank
are here,
you,
it does
Charles.
not have to be mothers. People who have experienced, who have witnessed things that are outside of it's not just for the mothers, it is for the people who have been involved in various capacities. So if you've seen something, please share it. We need your data. We need your feedback as well.
That's right. So we can give them a 360 perspective, not just of the birthing person, but we also accept reviews from the fathers. If a partner who was there, if your grandmother was your birthing partner, she can leave a review too, right? We need to get that 360 perspective. We love to hear from doulas. Right now, we have a lot of great energy around the value of doulas to the actual birthing individual. But with Irth, we really want to also uplift their collective knowledge. Doulas are our community watch. They are our birth watch, eyes and ears, and they see a number of births. So in the Irth app, we have a special icon that shows on doula reviews. So users can know that this review came from a doula. You'll see how many births they have attended at a particular hospital. So we really lift up the value of doulas, not just to a person, but also to our community, so that we can all benefit from the knowledge they have. And we want to lift that up even as we begin to create this new model of community-centered data. So yes, 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 yes.
Brilliant.
All
Brilliant.
have can play a part. So exciting. Well, thank you all so much. Our first Earthathon group. We are excited about the next folks coming in. I want to remind everyone, I want to thank so much Angela from Black Mamas Matter, Latham Thomas from Mama Glow, Charles Johnson from For Kira for Moms. Please follow them. Please amplify and lift up their work. We are excited about our next round of callers. I need a water break, apparently. And we have Kidada Green from the Black Mothers Breastfeeding Association, Bruce McIntyre from Save a Rose, and who else is up next? Let me see. Hold on, everybody. I have my whole list here somewhere. But it's going to be awesome. I tell you that much. It's definitely going to be great all day. We have such amazing people coming through. Whitney Robinson from the Renee. Then we have Natalie Walton from Expectful, an amazing app. So it's going to be a great lineup. So please call in. We are waiting for you. We're going to take a quick break. But please, let's get the number back up, please. If you're not going to call, download the Irth app. Let's really get this in the hands. We have power, people. We have power. Well, we have to use that power, and Irth is a tool for us to leverage that. All right. Enjoy this little video break, and we'll be back with our next round of callers. Get that number ready to go. Get those dialing fingers ready to go. And we're excited about our next group of callers and volunteers. Thank you.
Greetings. I'm Coach Gessie Thompson, a health activist and founder of thedetoxnow.com, an online wellness platform that educates and empowers BIPOC women and families on how to achieve optimal health by healing and preventing inflammatory conditions such as fibroids and more. I'm incredibly honored and proud to be a part of Earthathon, the first national telethon for Black maternal health. I am one of the 90% of Black women affected by fibroids by age 50, and my story is full of what we call near misses in the Black maternal health crisis due to a litany of surgical complications. I'm grateful that my miracle baby Nia and I both survived. But the statistics of Black women dying in and post-birth are devastating, too often negligent, and even more criminal. Mothers deserve to survive to raise their kids. This is why we must do this work, and I'm honored to be here today. Please join us this Friday, June 25th, as Irth app will center the fight for Black birth justice through this telethon. Black influencers, celebrities, and advocates will be taking your Irth reviews live on the phone. These prenatal birthing and postpartum reviews of care from Black birthing people and their partners are how we get to birthing freedom. They are a virtual support system of mamas who want others to know where they did or did not receive good care. They allow us to hold medical practitioners and their institutions accountable for their too often fatal racial bias and disrespectful care. We can save lives by sharing our stories. So we hope you and other birthing people you know can call in this Friday and help us raise reviews and funds for a better birthing future. We love you.
Did you know that racism and bias in care has been directly linked to the Black maternal and infant mortality crisis? Black and brown women and birthing people need to birth with Irth. Irth is in the word birth, but we dropped the B for bias, is a new Yelp-like review and rating app for Black and other birthing people of color to leave and find reviews of OBGYNs, birthing hospitals, and pediatricians. Join the movement to use our collective experiences to inform and protect each other and to bring transparency and accountability to the medical system. Reclaim your birthright to birth without bias. Irth is available now in the Google Play and Apple App stores. Download today. Search reviews for yourself. Leave a review to help others. Visit earthapp.com to learn more.